Jumbo, these guys don't wear no mask. Fuck that. He walking around with no mask. His whole team walking around with no mask. We definitely not sure he caught the COVID. We're not positive of that. We can't believe shit these people said. And so, they believe him. So they don't wear no mask. And that's how they get fucking spreaded, super spreaders. Motherfucker, whole team done caught COVID. And so everybody walking around and he's not doing shit about COVID, guys. People are dying every day. And it is no surprise that it's black and brown people. Oh yeah, it's the real America. It's not the fake America. You get what you see. And so, I don't know if y'all know Bill Maher. Sometimes I watch Bill Maher and he been saying this shit for like 4 years. Like, yo, they not gonna get this guy out. What's gonna happen if he loses? It's a fucking fact. Now the question is, can the man get impeached in the last 2 weeks of his presidency? Because this guy's actually, he gotta be delusional. He's fucking delusional. So who knows what this guy could do in the next 2 weeks? He obviously don't give a fuck. The fact that there's a couple of thousand people in Capitol with the congressmen's rush and diving on the floor, people getting shot in this motherfucker, and there's no cops? If you tried 1,000 motherfuckers going into high school, Lehman High School or some shit, there'll be 10,000 cops there in a motherfucking minute to whip your ass. I said, I get it. Keep the show on the road. Schumer's in there trying to get Joe Biden passed and everything, but that's even cowardly. When you gotta bring the army in front of Capitol Hill, the army, and in the middle of the night, shaking after you was on the floor, you passed the new president. This shit is crazy. Everything is crazy. And so, when you have one man who thinks it's about him, a narcissist, no, brothers, we got so many motherfucking cops and the army and that nah, man. Nah, man. Nah, man. They would have got them motherfuckers the fuck up out of there too quick. They had guns. Okay? They had guns pointed at the Congress and all that. Motherfucker went in there and sat down in the seat. The shit we've been watching for fucking years, state of assembly. They sitting in the seat, taking pictures with the cops. And the hip-hop news, probably the most disgusting day, too. If we're going to speak on it, God, let's speak on it. Couldn't really do my show yesterday. Choked up. While I was on here, Snoop. King of LA. Man goes, brain aneurysm. I thought they were saying he died or whatever. I fought, even now while I'm telling you, I fought back tears. He's not my best friend, but what he did for hip hop, what he did for tears, like emotional, fucking mad, pissed that the fucking good doctor has a brain aneurysm. Meanwhile, we're all crying and praying for the good doctor, and some motherfuckers ran in his crib to rob his shit. I guess that's why the good die young, man. God don't want him to see all this shit. The man's in the hospital fighting for his life with a brain aneurysm. The whole fucking world is praying and they trying to rob his house. Man, what we doing, man? LA, homies, the big homies. You letting them violate the heritage. Fucking Dr. Dre. It ain't just LA, they killed Hector Camacho in Puerto Rico. Most disgusting shit ever done. Macho Man. Guys, I'm telling you, I am not conspiracy guy. I am not wacko cracko. But can this man get impeached in the last 2 weeks? Can Mike Pence, could they impeach this motherfucker in one day, get him at it? I don't know what he's gonna do. I do not know what Donald Trump is going to do in the next 2 weeks. And I don't give a fuck, and I'm a real one, and I never think like this, and I don't think this. What is this man gonna do? And so I say to myself, we live in America, we lie to ourselves, we say everybody's equal. And then we see little kids get killed. We see the cops beating the brakes off of black and Latino people and white people who want to stand next to them. Tear gassing them, locking them up. I've never seen no shit like this. These guys stormed the Capitol, pulled out guns, ran the Congress out. Even the Vice President of the United States was in there. He got ran out. But where's shots fired, man? I want to see shots. Where's the shots fired? Where you at? Where you at? I ain't seen him. My brother Mice on Portland Live. Where you at? motherfuckers on them steps. My son, the general.
The Don, what's going on with you, King?
Man, I started this show just to have fun, man, and keep people's minds off of COVID, and this shit it's just a never dull. It's never a dull moment, bro.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you watch what I've been saying. I'm sure you're gonna say the same shit. You out there protesting every day with Tamika Mallory and Trader Truth, and they beating people's brains in for protesting. D-Wade put up a pic. Little girl got the gun on her. She's on her dad's shoulder protesting. And these guys are waltzing. W-A-L-T-Z-I-N-G. Like waltzing in the Capitol. You who are an activist and you're in the streets no matter what. Could you do that shit with Black Lives Matter?
No way. You couldn't do it with us as Black and Latinos, we can't, and the thing about it is we can march and protest against them killing us. We can want this accountability because somebody got killed. Go out there with women, peaceful, non-violent protests where we just saying, hey, we want people to be charged. These white people is mad because they lost an election and they stormed and took over the Capitol. Like literally took over the Capitol, broke windows.
It's our country.
They said it's our, and the president pretty much told them. He put a tweet out saying, this is what happened when you take the election from the people. It's basically saying, and then he said, remember this day for the rest of your life. Like basically, I sent my people out there, and if y'all fuck with me again, it can happen again.
No, the good old boys stand out to today. They stand out to today.
Yeah, to stand down is over. It's time to move.
No more stand by. Come on, man. They're gonna elect Joe Biden. The man gives a rally across the street at 8 in the morning. Yo, you know.
This is crazy.
You know, he's answering these people. Like, do you feel safe with him president for the next 2 weeks?
I mean, I never felt safe with Trump as president. About the way I protest and the way that I advocate against him. That's why I went out, and as much as our communities don't believe in politics and voting and fuck that, the lesser two evils, and Joe Biden did this. I never voted for anybody. I really voted in protest against Trump. I told people my vote was not for either one of them. I think that I want to definitely see a black woman get an opportunity to be the first vice president. So I definitely would give her, an opportunity to rule because we've seen everybody else do it. So why not she get an opportunity? But my real thing was I needed Trump to fuck out the White House. He had to go. He had to go.
My son, Breonna Taylor, 2 cops got fired today.
Fired.
Is that enough?
Enough. I mean, listen. You know the sad part, Joe, is that I'm so close to her mother. I'm so close to her family, to her sister. Like they like family to me, right? And I've been fighting since day one. You know, we found out about Breonna Taylor's case early in March. You know, Crump reached out to me and Tamika and was like, hey, this is going on out here and nobody knows anything. So we need y'all to try to bring some attention to it. And we went out there and we've been on the ground ever since Memorial Day for Breonna Taylor. So, we've sacrificed a lot. We've cried. We've held tears. We've done so many things. And unfortunately, Joe, we understand that this process, we realize, like, people, y'all didn't get no justice, you didn't do anything. And we realize that it's definitely a lot more to go. But it's like you said, this is not enough that they got fired. But we understand.
My song.
Mm-hmm.
Let me go back to the Capitol Hill. And rest in peace, Breonna Taylor. That's bullshit. They fired 2 guys. They'll give them a job somewhere else.
They definitely will give the job somewhere else. They definitely will.
You've been stopped by the cops. I've been stopped. We from the Bronx a million times. There's always an aggressive cop, right? Like there's always one who wants to smoke.
Always. We call
It
them
might be,
officer
if you
kick-ass.
found two other cool cops, they like backing him down. He want to bust your ass in Castle Hill in front of the fruit market in the middle of the night. He want to bust your shit. Where's the gun to hold cops in Capitol Hill with all these guys going in there wanting to smoke?
Joe, the difference is that when the people that's coming to give them smoke is their cousins and their uncles. They can't shoot Uncle Joe. They can't shoot Uncle Jack because the officers there, that's Uncle Jack that's coming to storm the house. So they like, no, we can't do nothing to Uncle Jack. They like Uncle Jack. And they let him go by. If you see there was a whole bunch of police, they opened the gate and let him go through. Just let him go through. So this is their family.
But I mean, if no Congress, no country.
You listen.
Just imagine one of these guys with the guns that was in there would have went crazy and would have lit up the whole shit. Like, I mean, you know how they say one bad apple? There's one bad apple in every crew. Imagine one of those guys would have let it go, legend.
Yeah. But one lady got killed. I don't know how the lady got killed, but one lady got shot in the neck and she died. So inside the White House, I don't know. I think she was one of the Trump supporters.
You know, she was probably amping them up, legend. And the cop was like, chill, and she was amping them up, legend. Like, yeah, are you kidding me? Like, and you know, God bless her, but I mean, she was definitely, if they shot a woman out of 10,000 people.
But I don't know who shot. I don't know who shot. I'm not saying the police shot. I'm not saying. But I'm
sure security or police must have shot it, but I'm telling you, she was trying to amp the shooters like, yo, let's go.
Yeah.
And
but did you see how they backed the black man down? They had one black man at the door with a stick, Joe. He was supposed to hold down a thousand.
I'm gonna lie to you, my son. I'd have hit a couple of them motherfuckers.
You imagine? I would have
been ripping faces off with the stick. Fuck it, ran.
Yeah.
We seen that shit. They had the toy soldier there.
Yeah.
Backing up. And he
going like this.
I ain't gonna lie, he folded it, man.
He did.
He should have took an ass with it, but
got
got
you,
it off. He ran back up. But he had a stick.
A stick.
With a 20,000, 30,000 mob running up in there.
Just walking, they walked him down.
They had
literally.
Like,
he walked him straight down.
And then the thing is, when they finally walked him down, they walked in there like they belonged there.
This is what I'm saying. They was like, we ain't going nowhere. And then they backed the rest of them down too, like we ain't going nowhere.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I would have had to let it go. Like, you know, like, yo, and you saving the vice president and the Congress. And the thing is, I go overseas a lot. I know overseas is looking at us like this is the shit you see Gaddafi, the shit you see in all them countries, people trying to take over the capital. And I watch all the news. So I watch the Fox, I watch CNN, but I also watch the BBC, the UK shit. The lady from the BBC was inside, reporting from inside. Well, we're trapped in here. They have guns. They're beating up. Never thought I'd see this day in my life in America.
Yep. That was everybody's commentation.
And
that's crazy.
Like, where do we go from here? We act normal. We act like this shit ain't happening. We act like America's great. Like, what?
I think, Joe, we've been preparing for this for the last 4 years. And I think for me, when people said, you know, about 2-3 years ago, people was laughing like, yo, Trump ain't leaving the White House even if he lose. And people laughed like, yo, y'all crazy. But I knew that he was serious. I knew that he had no plans on leaving the White House. I knew that he was pretty much forming a coup, that he was trying to make himself a dictator. Like, if you look at every move he made, it was dictator.
Every move he made was dictatorship. And so what I'm saying to them when I started, I said, yo, let me tell you something. As bad as Hitler was, I've seen video of people clapping for him when he drove by.
fact.
So now, just know that even the worst men in the world had people doing this.
7 million. Listen to me. 7 million people voted for Donald Trump.
Yeah, that's a fact.
That's a fact. Over 7 million people voted for Trump. So it's not like, and when you look at how many people was at that march, Joe, it was at least 250,000, 500,000 people out there in D.C. today.
Oh,
I seen the picture.
It was crazy. But my thing is, this is a real different type of situation, right? Because they in there, they threatening congressmen and all that. But the man who got to make the call to secure everything is with the shits.
Yeah,
He the reason they was up there dancing for fucking 4 hours straight. Like, I mean, say we would have got away with it. Say a bunch of blacks and Latinos ran and did it. Man, then we got away for a hot 10 minutes before the army, all type of cops came in, busting everybody. They was chilling. They left when they felt like leaving.
They was in there for hours, Joe. For hours, literally. It was like, yo, listen to me. It was like they was on a class trip. It was like they was on tourists. Some people just in there taking pictures. They had Nancy Pelosi's mail. The man had a mail outside. He went to her office, took her mail, and was taking pictures outside with the lady's mail. Like, this is crazy.
It just shows that America is at a very fragile state right now.
And the world sees it, Joe, and that's what we got to worry. We got to worry about. It's not so much of what we dealing with here, because we definitely got to deal with here. But we understand how America has been viewed as a superpower for so long, and they've invaded countries and they've taken over countries that they thought was weak. You know, that's what happens when you seen as weak, when you seen as your core and your structure of your country is weak. Other countries sit around and say, "Yo, look, they not fit to run that. We need to go in there and take over and protect that." And we got to think about shit like that.
Hey, I'm not anti-Russian people, but the Russians been fucking with us hard, and we just been laying down. We just been letting them do whatever the fuck they want to do.
You know what that means, because they start thinking you weak. And they start getting with the other superpowers and saying, yo, America is weak, man. They for the taking.
This is crazy right here. And even me, I wouldn't have did this shit tonight. So they doing the vote now after the army's dead. Like, you believe that in America you need the army to protect the Congress, and then voting in the middle of the night, you know, scared to be in the daytime. Like,
Joe, what happened is, Joe, this government, the system and the institution, it no longer fits the people, Joe. And when the government no longer fits the people, then it can't govern the people. Because they put people in office, they got laws in order that we don't agree with. They got people in office that we don't want there. So at the end of the day, there has to be a change. Like, and we have to dictate that change. And we have to understand our power, and we got to put people in office, in position, that actually govern this country the way that we want it to be governed.
All right, so yesterday was a legendary day in Georgia. In Georgia, they try to get whoever you want, Jimmy Carter's grandson, whoever. The Democrats can never win. Yesterday, a Jewish guy and a black reverend won Georgia.
That's right.
It tells you what the real, just because these guys are wilding here, the country wants change. And they don't want your typical, quote-unquote, politicians.
That's right.
They want new people with new visions, new thoughts, new ideas. What you thought about in Georgia when the two Democrats won?
Well, I've been in Georgia for the last month. You know, we came out here Until Freedom, me, Tamika, Linda, and Angelo, our whole Until Freedom team. We've been out here canvassing, knocking on doors, you know, getting people to sign up to vote, because we understood how serious this election was. Like, we got Biden into office, and we understood that the things that Obama faced was that he never had the House and the Senate. And when he tried to pass laws, people didn't understand that. They said, Obama didn't do this, or why Obama was doing this, because Obama didn't have a Senate. And Mitch McConnell vowed to rubber stamp everything that Obama said, that he would not pass on his laws. So we understood in order for us to make real change, we had to win this Senate. And if you would have seen the amount of grassroots organizations and people that flew in all over this world that took up residency, we rented a house out here where we at now for the last month and a half. Every woke vote, everybody was out here.
I'm not in the ATL, but I watched the Knicks play the Hawks. And you know, sometimes when you got NBA, when you got the NBA channels, they had like the Hawks news representatives. They was hosting the game, and every fucking commercial was about that Senate. They must have blew so many bags on commercials in Georgia. Like everything was this one, that one, this one. I mean, I think that might have been the what they said, the straw that broke the camel's back. That shit right there. When they seen them two win, they was like, oh no. And then the thing is, I'll make the choice. If I'm fucking up the bag, or if I know I'm hurting my team so much, like detrimental, I'll walk away quietly. I don't understand how Trump.
Because you're not a narcissist, Joe. You got to be a narcissist. You understand what I'm saying? Like if you look throughout your life, you was like, okay, Pun is nice. Pun is better than me. I'm gonna let Pun shine. Oh, you got this young boy. Remy. I'm gonna put Remy. Like you understood when you see something. If you ain't the top person, if somebody wants somebody else, you got to give them that. You know what I'm saying? Trump, he just his ego is so harmed and fragile that he can't even take losing at all. The man is running around saying that they won by a landslide, and his own team is like, just show me where the votes is at. We want to help you. Just show us.
The man goes, right? The man goes. They recount the votes 3 times, bro. He's tried 50 lawsuits with judges he put in there, Republican judges. The man, he couldn't get one lawsuit.
Not one.
How delusional is scary.
It is.
It's scary to know that people can live in their own bubble and really believe this shit.
But you know what's even scarier, Joe? What's even scarier is that he had millions of people outside with him with this bullshit. Like people was outside in the cold, they stormed the cap. Like people, it's a cold contingency of America that has the same mind state that Trump has. That's scary to me.
Yeah. No. All right, let's go back to when you say Fat Joe had the smarts to put Pun and Remy. Oh, this guy here, he's playing to that crowd. They already had a conspiracy crowd. They already had a bunch of racists in America. So that's why he came out with the silent majority. He ran with their wave to be president. Don't get it fucked up. He knew that shit was going on and he ran. Barack Obama, he's from Africa. He ain't from here. All that shit he was doing, Mexicans and drug dealers and rapists, he was playing into all that shit. And now he's running with the shit to where it's really scary in America. Like I have my mother and father, because they knew I was going to talk shit about him tonight. You know, my mother, everybody knew, Fat Joe going to go ham. He don't give a fuck. He coming on a big show to talk his shit. So, please watch what you say. But I got to spit the real, my son. I got to tell people the truth.
Gotcha.
Where do you go from here? What's the next thing? You got the job done in Georgia. Where you go next? You and the crew.
Well, what we do next is we got to hold this administration accountable, and we got to get legislation, laws that are going to be passed that give us equity. That give black people and brown people equity in our communities, to put funds back in our communities, to put programming back in our communities, to give us the opportunity to create entrepreneurs, to create revenue, to create our own ecosystem of capital, to continue to have generational wealth. Like, that's what it is. We understand. Like I told everybody, I understand why people didn't want to vote for Biden. They definitely contributed to mass incarceration, and I get it. Kamala Harris did too. And when I sat down and talked to them on numerous calls and Zoom calls and had meetings, their whole thing was they wanted to right those wrongs. And we did everything possible
I
right
believe
now.
people can change. I believe
That's
people
right.
can change.
We can. And that's why we gave them, and right now what we did with the Senate races, we gave them every tool and opportunity to make that change. So now, as me, as a frontline advocate and civil rights advocate and working on the front line, we have to hold them accountable. We have demands. We got laws we need passed. We need to make sure that these laws are passed. We're not going to sleep. We're not just happy that Trump is gone. We're going to make sure that y'all do everything that y'all said y'all was going to do. And that's what it
Crazy
is.
shit. It's 3,000 people are dying every night of COVID.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Nobody
so,
knows. You know what the thing about COVID is, Joe? Nobody knows why. Nobody knows what. COVID don't have no definition. Like, it's so many different. I know people that's had COVID that barely had a cough. You know, I had COVID in June, and I didn't even know I had it. I had a cough and tested positive because I was trying to go out of the country. But it's so many different things to so many different people. So they're not giving, like, America has not done its due diligence as to figure out, what do we have? How do we really cure COVID? How do we really stop it from spreading? They don't have an idea. They dropped the ball when they were supposed to, when it first started, and they were supposed to cut it off from the beginning. They didn't do that. Now it's spread so
I
much.
love the UK, but the minute you heard them niggas had some super extra fast shit, I'd have shut down all planes from UK to the United States.
You got to.
Like, and they
You
still
got
let the shit come in. They let people
that's
come
the-
in here, and now all of a sudden everybody. And I'm gonna be honest with you, my son. I feel like the hip hop community let down, our people with being out there in the streets and no mask on, and all our artists and all our rappers is out there acting like the shit ain't real. And some of them, like you said, already had COVID and now they ain't got it, so they walking around like Superman because they think they can't get it again. No mask. I'm gonna let you go by telling the people how real this COVID shit is.
Listen to me. I've been one of those people who've always been, I challenge everything. I don't believe our government, but COVID definitely is real. I know people who died, like Fred. God bless the dead God. Fred, I speak to his wife on a regular. I know he's gone. I know a lot of my friends and family members who lost 2 and 3 family members. I know a lot of churches who have lost half of their congregation. Who own morgues, who own the funeral homes, and they saying that they haven't had this amount of people dying ever. So it's definitely.
It's a 9/11 every day.
Yeah.
Be clear.
Yeah.
Like 9/11 was devastation. 3,000 people died, and every year we celebrate it, and rightfully so. But this shit is happening 9/11 every day.
Yeah. I just want to, for me, Joe, it's just how did it get here? Where did it come from? Because this shit, the way it's taking out our people and the way it doesn't have any definition, no name, no nothing. The shit is either, it goes from being, you have symptoms of a common cold till you dying in 2 or 3 days. Like, this shit is like, this is the most scariest shit in the world. How do you fight that? How it's like, I don't even know.
I'm not a conspiracy guy, but I say, how did somebody invent a virus that kills black and Spanish people more than anything?
More than everybody.
Then it kills homeless people, old people. So like old people, they've been here, they paid the way for us. Now people want them out the way.
Joe,
Sick people
shit
cost America tons of money.
It sound like control to me, man. It sound like they're trying to control the amount of people in the world to me. Like, because you look at the people that it's targeting, this shit is strategic. It's targeting people that they don't like. The racist people don't want black and Latinos here. They would rather homeless people die, and they like, well, people are old anyway, so if they die, it don't really mean that much. So this is population control to some degree. I don't know who made it, but it definitely was man-made. This ain't no shit that just came out of nowhere.
Man-made shit. This a man-made shit. There's just no way around it. It's just, it
No
can't
way.
be, and it's diabolical. Like when we see them fucking Frankenstein, how the man was creating like this shit is like, okay, black people, Spanish people, old people, they fucking old, they costing us money. Okay, sick people, they costing us money. That's conspiracy, Joe. My brother, stay safe
Yeah,
out there.
yeah.
God bless you.
Likewise.
Love you, all right, Mike?
All right, King. Love
Coming
you
on.
too. Be safe. Appreciate you.
My brother, number love. Sheesh. Man's on the front line. He's out there. Anywhere you see the smoke, he's in the front line peacefully. So every night we're not going to talk about rap. Bars, who's the best rapper? Who bumped into this one first or that? Or who did no? Sometimes some real shit happens. There's nothing you can talk about. I had my man Vegas Dave was coming on here and give us some tips about gambling. He's the biggest guy in the game. And I said, yo, Vegas, I think we should chill because we can't be tone deaf. We know exactly what's going on. And so my respects to Vegas Dave and any one of his fans that we didn't get him on here. But this shit is like, and what you want me to do? This is a daily show, and I gotta talk about the real shit. As simple as that, man. And so I would love to sincerely say sorry to my brother, Vegas Dave, and I would we would want you back, because this man is the biggest in the game and giving tips to gambling dealers, and I'm intrigued about the man. Pristine Jewelers, Uncut Capitalism. Hey, man. And so, stand down. Stand down. And mind your business. Stand down and mind your business. Let these people deal with that shit. Let these people deal with that shit. Stand down, mind your business. If you're from the DC area, don't go out there because you want to say some shit or whatever. Mind your business. This ain't got nothing to do with you. Let the people handle that. Let them people handle what the fuck they got going on. Whatever they want to do, let them do it. Let them handle that shit. It's not our fight. It ain't for the lone Black Lives Matter, the lone brown man's ladder to go out there and want to start arguing with all the maggots. People deal with it. They got their issues there. As far as I'm concerned, Joe Biden's about to get electoral college votes, and he will be the next president. And so a lesson to everybody. No one man is bigger than America. And for all those people you seen on them stairs, that's not even an ant compared to the 350 million Americans. And you can be Republican. You might have even voted for Trump, but not be down with that shit. So Jesse Kang and Brooklyn Babe tune in every day. The quote of today is, stand down, mind your business. So everybody be safe. Everybody be safe. Look to God. God is great. God got a plan for everything. Believe in God. Tomorrow night, God willing, because I don't know what the fuck's going on in America. Fuck America, the world. Every day niggas is dying. Every day, another artist, another perk, 3,000. This shit is really, it's a really, really hard time. And I told you 2021 is the year to light. This thing that's going on, we got 2 weeks of this. That man's out of here. Once he's gone, him and his people could calm down and go back to wherever the fuck they want to go. Because I never thought in my life that there'll be a guy waving a Confederate flag in the middle of Washington, D.C. Walking through Capitol Hill with the... This shit is crazy. This shit is crazy. And so stay safe. God bless you. This is the big show. Michael Mad, I see you. Richie, I see you. By far the biggest in the game. And let me tell you something. We the realest in the game. We don't take no talk back. Man, not take no talk back, you see? Man, not living in an illusion. Man, living in an illusion. And that's that. I'm trying to get Vegas Dave back on Friday. Shit calm down today and tomorrow. It's my guy. I fuck with him. I want to know his story, how he rose to so much success. What gives him, because he be picking these picks and people bet on the picks and they win money. I'm intrigued with knowing about people who come from modest means and make it to successful levels, and maybe they can tell you something to inspire you. Maybe you got a dream and you just have to figure 2 or 3 things out, like a jigsaw puzzle. And so, and that's why I want Vegas Dave on. He's a good friend.